this year marks the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man, then I thought I'd decide to review a lot of his video games he have had in the past. So this is my review of the 2002 movie game, Spider-Man. Released 2 weeks before the 2002 Spider-Man movie came out, this video game is loosely based on the movie of the same name. And like its 2000 Spider-Man and 2001 sequel, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, this movie is a lot of level-based beat-em-up action adventure. In other words, there's no open world here, and there certainly is just combat, and well, there's stealth missions, and there's level design. In other words, what I'm trying to say, this is a linear Spider-Man game. You know, I must say, I enjoyed this game a long time ago when it came out. I remember playing this game just before I saw the 2002 Spider-Man film, and I must say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game over the years, but by today's standards, it's definitely outdated. And I will say that I do credit Treyarch for at least trying to make an interesting game. Is this game interesting? Of course it is. Is it one of the best Spider-Man games? No, it certainly is not. This game has a lot of issues such as the difficulty, the lack of checkpoints, and of course some of the story not making a whole lot of sense. But then again, this is a movie game. You have to have other things going on in this video game on past the runtime. Speaking of which, the length of this game is very short. You could easily be in a afternoon. And one thing I want to criticize is that the voice acting, it's not that great, to be honest. Tobey Maguire acts like he doesn't want to be there, and Willem Dafoe, well, he might be the only standout of this video game. Somehow, Kirsten Dunst never returns to voice her role in this game. Neither does James Franco to voice Harry Osborn. In fact, they got Josh Keaton to voice Harry Osborn. You know, if Tobey Maguire really didn't want to do his voice role, they could have gave the role to Josh Keaton. I mean, he has voiced Spider-Man before. Nonetheless, though, this video game, it's criticized for a lot of reasons simply because it's not a fully open world game yet, and there are many issues that keeps it from being great. Especially the camera control. That's probably really the villain of this video game, if anything. But I will say this Spider-Man movie game, it's not really terrible, but it's not great either. What was impressive about this video game is that it sold over 2 million units back in the 2000s. I have to say that is impressive. But when it comes to the story, like I mentioned before, it's loosely based on the movie. You have other villains such as Scorpion, Vulture. You even have Kraven Hunter in the Xbox edition. Now granted, I never played the Xbox edition, but I heard those 2 missions have nothing to do with the overall arc. Now, the combat is better than it was in the previous 2 Spider-Man games. You can learn combo moves. But question, why the hell is there a web meter? Seriously, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in that universe, his webs were unlimited. They were produced by his body. In other words, he didn't have mechanical web shooters. So why is there a web meter? I never understood that. I guess because the developers didn't want the players spamming the web button. They didn't want to cheese the action, if you would. But I must say, why this game be so difficult, especially when Spider-Man goes against Green Goblin, you're going to have some serious issues there. And there's one mission in this game I always had. That was the stealth mission when you break into Oscorp. I always despised what that mission meant, since when does that come into the main focal point of the game? Nonetheless, though, I don't hate this video game. I enjoyed it when I was younger. It's just, there's not enough here to keep you entertained. Well, that's not obviously true. There is stuff. There's, you know, bonus content, costumes, and you can play through the game again as Harry Osborn's Green Goblin. So that's something. Now, a great Spider-Man game overall, but at the end of the day, I think this video game is pretty decent for what it is. I'm giving this video game a 7 out of 10. At least this movie game wasn't awful like other movie tie-in games have been over the years. And one thing I failed to mention is that Bruce Campbell actually lends his voice in the tutorial level.
Welcome to the tutorial. Yeah, I know, you want to get on with things, beat up the bad guys, do the whole superhero thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, everyone's got to start somewhere. Trust me, when you're hip-deep in trouble later on, you'll be glad you went through this. All right, now let's get started. Now get the gum out of your ears and listen good. Each time you get one, you'll unlock a new web power or combo to add to your list of attacks. For those of you playing along at home, that's a good thing. Oh, and for those of you with short-term memory issues, which would be most of you, you can check out a list of the combos you've unlocked in the pause menu.
I always found that pretty cool because it looked like Bruce Campbell had a great time lending his voice to this game as well as the other two after this one. And not just that, at least you have unlimited swinging. I mean, this is not a big upgrade considering the past two Spider-Man games. It's more of a fresh coat of paint, if you will, for this. And yeah, you got new combos, but this is generally the same game as Spider-Man 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. Nonetheless though, this is a Spider-Man game that I think a lot of people still will enjoy to this day if they were to play it. Now, it's not Spider-Man PS4, but at least it's a video game they can have fun with. And that's my review of the 2002 Spider-Man movie game. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this video game. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.